It's been a few days since we saw the Cyclops world boss, and yo, I still feel really good about what we saw. I want to expand a bit more on the Cyclops exploring the world of Verra. Already knowing a lot of the mobs that we're gonna get, the dynamic changes to this world could be astronomical. I really loved what we saw in the May development update. Things are continuously being worked on, and Trevor seems to be happy with the progression, and then on top of that, we're getting closer and closer to Alpha 2. We're all winning.
The main point here is that we saw the Cyclops walking around in the world of Verra. As he walked around, he knocked down several trees. I said this in my development live update video, but this 100% makes the world so much more real. We are now going to be playing in a world where there's always a threat amongst us that is affecting our servers. I wonder if there are any more mechanics that they have planned for the Cyclops or other world bosses that roam the land. Something that I think would be really cool to see once we're able to get into Alpha, that is if the Cyclops or other type of land bosses were able to pick up the trees and use them against us as weapons. If you remember, during the Cyclops showcase, Tumak was already walking around holding a tree that we eventually found out was his totem. Now, there's a clear difference between Tumak's tree and the trees that we've been seeing in the wild because they're clearly coded into the game differently. But again, if we were to pick up these trees, maybe he could throw them, swing them at us, etc. You get what I'm saying. Now, I have zero knowledge as a game developer, but I do have some thoughts on what other possibilities could be utilized in this situation. We know that Tumak is the first of 4 world bosses in the Riverlands. Cool. The other world bosses will probably be ground focused as well. We also know that there will be naval sea raid bosses. For all my people who are excited about sailing the seas of Verra, what does the dynamic atmosphere mean for us while we're sailing? If Tumak is knocking down trees by simply walking, what could possibly happen to the ships that we're sailing on? Now, this brings up a whole other question because we have seen nothing regarding the sea and naval combat. We don't even know the durability of our ships. I think it's safe to say that the large ship made for the 40-man raid group is going to be way more durable than the small ship made for 3 players. But again, we don't even know if the damage received to the ships makes them less operable, or if it's more of a, if your ship takes too much damage, it'll sink and you all fall into the sea. Take all of that and put a raid boss into the conversation now. What dynamic moves can happen while we're out at sea? Will pieces of our boat break off? Can the boat be split in half? Can the boat be tossed up in the air if we're fighting some sort of kraken? I think a lot of good things can be explored dynamically out at sea. We also know that knocking down trees can deforest an area. If we leave a certain boss around for too long, will they be eating or scaring certain fish away? There's a lot that can be done here. If you were blessed enough to be part of the Alpha 1 or even be around watching Ashes of Creation content at the time, then you probably remember a lot of the dragon fights, whether you were part of them or watched it during the live development update. We know that there's a fire dragon, there's also an ice dragon. What if the dragons can burn down or even freeze forests or certain parts of that area? I don't think something like this will happen because imagine the dragons being uncontested, tarnishing the land. I think a lot of players would be upset, but a way that I can see this happening is if they're like Tumak in a way and they have a certain path that they continuously take. Again, for obvious reasons, you wouldn't want a mob that can change the server too much going anywhere. All of this would continue to add to the world as there would be more threats in different places. This is something that I don't really see happening, but I'm going to shoot anyway. What if these mobs got to attack our nodes? Now, when I say attack, I don't mean in the sense that it would de-level the node or anything, but maybe our node and homes lose a few resources. Maybe the bosses could do some cosmetic damage. Think about the fire at your node, cracked walls, or flooded area due to the world boss mobs that are in that space. Personally, I think it would make it more immersive, but I have no idea how the gameplay aspect would work, and I wouldn't be willing to risk bad gameplay over more immersion. With how big Ashes of Creation is, there's so much room on the table to do more dynamic changes to the world that can slightly or drastically affect our gameplay, and I'm here for it.
I know I keep saying this, but I really do believe the summer is going to be wild, right? We have Bard, Summoner, Rogue, Steven confirmed crafting is coming up. Then we have Naval we still need to see. We need to see some more nodes. Gotta see augments. Honestly, we're pretty lit until Alpha 2 spot testing opens up. It's moving way quicker than we expect. Dog, it's already June. Year's halfway over. Hey man, what did you think about the Cyclops gameplay that we got to see? Please, let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't created an Ashes of Creation account yet, feel free to use my link in the description. If you're looking for a Discord to join, come kick it with us, man. It's lit, I promise. If you're looking to stay up to date with me, feel free to follow me on Twitter and Twitch, where I stream the live monthly updates and some other MMOs while we wait for Ashes of Creation. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.